The rain and thunder.
Hi guys, I'm Annabelle and welcome to Meeple Village. Today we're going to be doing a full run through of Gloomhaven buttons and bugs. It's a big game in a very small box. Let's go to the table and play Gloomhaven buttons and bugs. Alright guys, I have the game. Most of it is ready, but I wanted to talk to you about setup so you know what to do. So this is a solo only game. I hear a lot of people are complaining about that. It's funny because a lot of times it's us solo players complaining that the game cannot hold a solo run through, that we have to find other players. So it is, I guess, your guys' turn to complain because this game doesn't play more than one. Irony. But you know, I understand why. I mean, they're trying to pack a huge box into a tiny box, and that, you know, some things have to go, and I guess the multiplayer had to go. Of course, maybe fans will come up with a smart way of, you know, having that ability to play with other players, because I know a lot of you guys miss it. But let's see what we got with our solo. So we have our player. We're going to be the Silent Knife today. We got a little mini, which I don't know if I can paint that. Although somebody told me that if it's smaller, it's easier to paint. But I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyways, well, I'm gonna show you her abilities, her cards and everything. We only have 4 cards, but they're double-sided, so it's kind of like we have 8 cards in our hand. You know Gloomhaven, if you know it, you know that when you run out of cards, you get exhausted. And in this scenario, if you're exhausted, you lose. So we have to be careful with our hand management. We have our health, which we start at 11. I'll show you that in a minute when I show you the character. And then we have these 2 boards. One is for us, for the heroes, and one is for the monsters. Right now, because we are playing the basic tutorial, we're at level 1. But we can actually, as we level up, we're going to cover this with cards and increase in level, and these modifiers will change. These are modifiers just like in Gloomhaven. We do have modifiers every turn. I believe it was cards in Gloomhaven. Yeah, it was definitely cards. You will flip it over and you might get a +2 or a null or a -1, and you can improve them as you leveled up. So they're trying to do that here. And the monsters, same thing. There's actually, this is the standard difficulty, but there's a very easy, so you'll cover that and it'll become easier, all the way to very hard, which is really hard. And we have the monster, just like I'm here, the monster is going to go here, and we're going to roll to indicate their initiative and what they're going to do during the turn. But you're going to understand that when we actually do that, because right now you're just looking at an empty board. And then we have our scenario deck, which is a lot thicker than this. I just didn't want to bring the cards that we weren't going to use because we're just going to go through the first scenario. So with that said, we're going to start reading. There's a little bit of reading, and then we'll get started. So you can read it if you'd like. My English is not the best, and I've been told so by you guys. So pretty much we've been shrunk, so now we're tiny, and we are in this land and we're trying to get big again. So we're in this land where everybody, I guess everybody's little, everybody's tiny, and we have to find our way. You'll notice there's 2 items here. After the first scenario, you can start equipping items. So, but we won't be using items this scenario. And then here is our rude welcoming. So of course, who welcomes us but monsters? And you're supposed to read all the way until goal. This is the resolution of the scenario once you completed the goal. So basically it just tells us what monsters are out there. So we got monsters, we got bandit guards, which I'm going to find. And our goal is to defeat all of them. And if you flip this card over, it gives you the map or the layout of the land. So this right here is where we start. And these 2 hexes are where the monsters are going to go. We're going to have a green bandit and a blue bandit. And then there's a little bit of terrain that we need to learn about real quick. So green, surrounded by green, like these 3 hexes, is impassable terrain. I think that's green too. Yes. So these 4 hexes. It's impassable terrain. You can shoot through it, so that there's line of sight through it, but you cannot walk through it like ever. Well, not like ever, I guess, if you jump. And then these orange ones are traps. In this particular scenario, the traps in there tell you that when you step on a trap, it provides you with 1 damage that ignores armor, of course, because you just kind of fell in the trap. And that's our map. So I'm going to set it up and we're going to get started. So we'll put the map, I guess, here, hopefully easy to see. And we have our blue monster, which is just a cube, nothing fancy. And we are going to start here. And then these are, oops, upside down. These are our bandit guards. So I think that's it. Now let me show you our character. Oh, I need their health dials, of course. So 1 health dial for each monster. The green one is number 1. So I'm going to put him on the left because he's going to act first. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll kill him first. I'm not sure about that. We're going to do what we can. And then let me show you our silent knife character. On this side of the card, there's it tells you how hard it is to play. This one is low complexity, which I figured, you know, this kind of like they actually suggest to start with the brawler, but I've already played with the brawler a few times. I wanted to try out a new character. So let's see how things go with this one. And then it tells you what cards start in her hand, you know, according to levels. So level 1, and then later on, of course, we'll be able to level these cards up to better abilities. And then on the other side, of course, we've got a picture of our hero, and then we have a place to discard and a place for lost. And if you don't know Gloomhaven, then of course you'll understand what I'm playing. And then if there's any cards that are active, then they will go there, and items will go here. Again, we're not going to use items for this scenario because we are not allowed. And then any conditions that affect her are going to go in here. And then this is our hit points according to our level. So right now we're level 1, so we have 11 hit points. So let's go to the dial and make sure she's at 11. And she is at 11, so we're good. And these guys have a HP of 8, so they're already at 8. And they do have a shield. Permanently they have a shield, so every time we do damage, unless we have Pierce, which goes through the shield, they're going to be taking 1 less damage. And I will show you the cards when we start playing, because we're going to do that right now. So on your turn, the first thing you do is you're going to pick 2 cards to play, and those cards are going to give you different information. So I'm going to pick the cards, I'm going to show you what they are, and I'll show you the information on it. All right, so I've picked my 2 cards for the turn. And let me show you the information that's in there. So first of all, you'll see that they have an A. That's because right now the cards are on their A side. Once we use these cards, we flip them and then go back into our hand. So we get like 2 uses of each card. Very clever. Cleverly done. Less clutter. And then these 2 cards are level 1. So that's the level of the cards. And remember, we can upgrade them to level 2 later on. We've got the Venom Shift and Quick Reflexes. So let's look down at the Venom Shift. If you've never played Gloomhaven before, the way you do it is you're going to choose the 2 cards. And then when it's your turn, you're going to do an ability from the top of a card. And if you choose this ability from the top of this card, then you have to choose this ability on the bottom of this card. And same goes the other way around. If you pick this top ability, then you have to pick this bottom ability. So this top ability has an attack of 3. And it also poisons. And if you ever need to know what all things mean, there's a handy dandy list of stuff, which is actually double-sided. And poison is right here. All attackers gain +1 damage, prevents healing, remove when healed. So if they ever heal, they heal the poison first, and then they can start heal themselves. But we're also going to hit them for +1. So that's basically why I chose that card. I kind of want to get the poison right away, so I start doing more damage. But looking down, we can, on the bottom of the card, we can move a 5, which is pretty good movement. But also it's important to notice that if we don't want to use a card for this, we can always use the top ability of a card for a attack 2 and the bottom ability of a card, ignoring this, for a move 2. And then in the middle is our initiative. So we pick one of the 2 cards to become our initiative. We're going to pick 60 because, I mean, we're still pretty slow. Maybe the guys will get to go first, but that's okay. We're going to try. And if they go first, we might have to change our tactics a bit. But, you know, and same thing here. We're going to, with this one, we're going to move 2 and attack for 3. And then on the bottom, we can move for 4. And again, this can be used for attack 2, the top, and the bottom can be used for move 2. Okie dokes. So let's see when we're going to go. We have an initiative of 60. And these are the 2 cards we're going to play. We'll keep these to the side. And in order to check what their initiative is, we're going to roll. These are the monster's actions. When we roll, you will know what exactly they're doing. So the numbers are 30, 50, 70. Let's roll for them and see when they want to go. Okay, so they are going to go at the 0 pace, which is in the middle. So they are going to go first. They're going to move at an initiative of, or go at an initiative of 50, and we're at an initiative of 60. So the enemies are attacking or move or acting first, and on their move, it tells us right here they're going to move one space and they're going to attack for 2. So the green guy always goes first. He cannot move through impassable terrain, so he's going to have to go around. Unfortunately, he can't reach me, or should I say fortunately? Fortunately for him, fortunately for me. And this guy, same deal. He's going to move 1 and get a little closer to me. They always try to use, of course, the shortest path available to them. But they didn't do anything. So now it's my turn, and let's go. So I kind of want to go for the green dude first. And I do want to poison him, so I think we're going to go ahead and poison him. And but before we can actually hit him, we need to get adjacent to him, because this is not a range attack. Range attack will have a symbol. I'm sure she has some. There's none here. Let me see if I can find range attack right here. This is a range of 1, so that's circle. But this is a melee attack, so we have to move adjacent. So we'll use our move 4, which we're not going to need. We could even use our move 2, because all we need to do is move 1. So we're using our move 4 just to move. Let's see, can I get around him? 1, 2, 3, 4, just to be away from that guy. No, because that's impassable terrain. 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't. Okay, so we'll have to go here. All right, and I used it, so it will still be in my hand, but at the end of my turn, I'm going to flip it, and it'll go to the B side. And then with my other card, I'm going to follow my plan and attack 3. Of course, they have a shield of 1, but I will poison them. All right, so I also got a 0 result. So I look at my chart, and I gain +0 to my results. I add +0, and then immediately this moves down. So the next time I attack, I'm going to have different possibility of modifiers. So since I'm at a +0 and I'm attacking for 3, then I only do 2 damage, because they do have a shield. So it's the green enemy, so he's down to 6. But most importantly, he has been poisoned, so we're going to get poison status, and just put it here to remind ourselves that, you know, from now on, they get +1 damage. And then that's the end of the round. So we flip these cards to the B side, and they all come to our hand. And we're going to do it again. I'm going to choose 2 cards to play, and we're going to try to defeat these monsters. Either they exhaust me, which can happen in 2 different ways. One is if my hit points go all the way down to 0, but the more dangerous one is if I run out of cards. If I don't have 2 cards either in my hand or my discard pile that I can pull out and play 2 more cards. So because you always play 2 cards in this game. So let's go. So okay, so I'm gonna pick my other 2 A side cards just to keep it even, and also because I'm standing right next to a monster. And I'm gonna be pretty fast. I'm gonna have an initiative of 12, and we'll come back to these ones. They roll and see whose turn it is first, although I know it's gonna be my turn first, because their best initiative, I believe, is 50, so we beat them. Okay, so they're going to do the plus thing, which means they're super slow. They're going at 70, and they're going to move 2 and attack for 2. So I have to be prepared for that and make sure I'm out of range if possible. So, well, I can't be out of range of that guy. I'm attacking him, right? So now it's, of course, we're going to go first because we have an initiative of 12. And let's see, first we're going to use the top of the smoke bomb, and we're going to do something to ourselves. And because I know you guys might not know what that is, let's look it up, and it's right here. We're going to become invisible. Cannot be targeted, remove at the end of next turn. So we have all of this turn to be invisible and next turn. So I'm just going to put this on my character to remind myself. Add +1 damage to your next attack while you have invisible. And you'll notice this lasts as long as I want it to last. This infinitive sign means that I can keep this ability going, and I can just be invisible. Actually, add +1 while I am invisible for as long as I keep the card around. The problem with that is that if I have the card stuck in my active slot, then I have less cards. So we might not keep it for too long. But the important thing is that we have +1, and then we move down here, we're going to attack at a damage 3, and because we're invisible, it's actually damage 4. They do have 1 shield, and let's see how we roll. So I'll keep the card here because I'm adding +1 to all attacks. Not that it's going to matter because I'm only going to attack this one time and then my turn is going to be over. But if I wanted to keep it and add +1, as long as I'm invincible, I can do that. So I could keep it until next turn since I will still be invisible next turn and add +1. And this time we get a plus, which is beautiful. We get +2 more damage. So, and then of course we got to move this because we used it. So we had, let's see, 3 from here, +2 from here is 5, +1 from here is 6. But of course they do have 1 shield. So even with all of that, they are at, oh, actually, they're poisoned. So they get 1 more. Okay, let me super triple check this. We got 3 here, +2 from here is 5. And then 6 from this one and 7 for the poison. So even with their shield, they are dead. So thank you, but you're done. And of course, this card is an A, so it'll come back as B in my hand. We get rid of this monster. And now we only have 1 monster to worry about. And again, I'm going to be invisible next turn, so I might want to keep my my thing going and add +1 to the attacks because he's still at full health. But in any case, it's his turn to go. He's going to move 2, but I don't think he can reach me at 2. No, he can't, but he almost did. So that's it. That's it for him. Now we're going to pick another 2 cards. I need to figure out if I'm going to keep that or not. I think I'm going to keep it for now because I do get to be invincible until the end of this turn. So I've picked my 2 cards. We're going at a 38. Let's see how fast they're going to go. Okay, they're going to go back in the middle, which is a 50. So they're going to go after us because we're at 38. All right, so what are we going to do first? So let's see, we could heal for 3, but we're not even hurt yet. They haven't been able to reach us. Over here we can move and we can retaliate. So when they hit us, we hit them back for 1. I do think that this turn they might be able to get us, but let's see what our other options are, which will be these 2. It says 3 damage, add 2 damage if you have invincible, invisible, not invincible. I've been watching Invincible, you can tell. So that is 3, that will be 2 more, so that will be 5, that's great. And then this is great that this is happening because I can show you about elements. So you know how in Gloomhaven we have our elements in a chart and we manipulate it? Well, here we do it with cards. As long as this symbol is on either my hand or in the active slot, anywhere where I can see it, except for, of course, the discard pile or lost pile, I can use it. And I happen to have that, which is great. So this will let me do another 2 damage. So that's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage attack. But if I look over here, because I do have to move because I'm not adjacent to him and this doesn't have range, I can move and then I can poison at range 1, which is exactly what I want to do. I want to poison him so I can do even more damage. So first we're going to move 3 and we're going to poison someone at range 1. Gee, I wonder who I should poison. So I'm going to move here and now at range 1 he has been poisoned. So there you go, sir. And next we're going to do our attack. So I moved with this one, okay. And this one, because it's already on the B side, is going to go to my discard pile at the end of this turn. Sometimes I like to just put it there so I don't forget. It's a lot going on in Gloomhaven, as there usually is. All right, so next we're going to attack for 3, add +2 if we are invincible, which we are. And we're going to add another 2 because we have that still in our hand. We shouldn't have put it in the discard pile yet, so maybe I shouldn't. All right. All right, so let's roll to see what our modifier is. Okay, and we get a 0, like a nothing, and it is a nothing. So we're adding +0 to our attack. But I think we did pretty good, even without the nothing. Let's see, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So in one full rush, we got them because we got 3 from here, +2 because we're invisible is 5, +2 because we have the element is 7, +1 because the next attack gets +1 is 8, and +1 because of the poison is 9. So even with their 1 shield, they are dead, and we are done. And that's how fast this game can go. It's 15 to 20 minutes. They're not kidding. Of course, sometimes it's the opposite. The monster just gang up on you, and you can't seem to win. But here, they didn't even touch me. He was about to, but he didn't get to. And that's Gloomhaven. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Well guys, there you have it. That was a full run through of Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. Usually it takes me, I try with the brawler and sometimes I will win, sometimes I will lose. Even though they do suggest using him, I guess because he's low complexity, but I feel like this one was really easy. Easier than I expected it to be, but we went with it. And I didn't show you the resolution of the adventure because it was just more reading, and honestly, I would like for you guys to explore that on your own, but at least you got a feel of what the game feels like. It's fast. It simulates the big Gloomhaven as close as it can. So I appreciate it. I played it when I was on vacation a couple times because of course it's travel size. So you can take Gloomhaven with you no matter where you go. And the scenario, I think it's like more than 12 scenarios. I think it's 20 if I'm not mistaken. So you go through a story of 20 different scenarios and you get stronger, but so do the monsters. And the map is tight, so the movement, today I was able to avoid them, but there are times when they just gang up on me and it's hard to get rid of them. But yeah, that's Gloomhaven. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you want me to do a full campaign of this, let me know in the comments below. If not, I'll just leave it here and play it on my own. That's fine too. There's a lot more games coming. Happy holidays and a great 2025 to all of you. May you guys play more games in 2025.